Sorry about that. Restarting. The Superman theme. Weaponized minigames. A last minute logo. And weird scripted banter. All this and more today on Torgo's Game Show Grab Bag. Hey, welcome everybody. Oh, there's still stuff I forgot to clear out of the... Whatever, we'll just let it go. Who scripts banter? Well, apparently Jay Wolpert does. We'll get into that. That'll be the last show of the night. That'll be the Trivial Pursuit adaptation. But anyway, welcome to the Game Show Grab Bag. This is your Saturday afternoon, at least on the East Coast, exploration of the world of game shows. Sometimes I say the word exploration in a weird way, and you'll have to deal with that. And the way I say deal with that. So, let's get right into it. Today's topic is Wolpert Unfiltered. Unsold game show pilots from the King of Weird, Jay Wolpert. So we've explored some of Jay Wolpert's shows before. Just a little primer on who he is. He won the 1969 Jeopardy! Tournament of Champions. He produced The Price is Right from 1972 to 1978, laying the foundation for its 50-plus year run. And outside of game shows, he wrote the screenplays for 2002's The Count of Monte Cristo, and has a story credit on the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Every Pirates of the Caribbean thing that came out after Curse of the Black Pearl, whether it was a movie or a video game, has a credit on it that says, based on characters created by Jay Wolpert. And back to the world of game shows, these are shows he's created. The Alex Trebek show Double Dare, not to be confused with Nickelodeon's Double Dare, Hugh, Hitman, Blackout, Skedaddle, Rodeo Drive, Wait Till You Have Kids, and Shopping Spree. Rodeo Drive we have not watched yet. I'll figure out a way to work that in, maybe like a shopping-themed stream. And Skedaddle, I can't find any real video evidence that it exists. Hitman is just him killing his enemies. There's actually a little bit of Hitman in the Trivial Pursuit show. But Skedaddle was... I don't even know if it was a full half hour. It was a game show segment on the Funtastic World of Hanna-Barbera in 1988. And I can't find any video of it. So I don't know if it's even something that we can watch on the stream. Now, we have watched two of Wolpert's unsold pilots previously, Fortune Hunters and Pie in the Sky. This is going to be the rest of them, other than another show I can't find any video of called Brainy Bunch from 1989. We're starting off strong with because I mentioned Wolpert being a weird guy who makes weird shows. The first show is called Pandemonium. And by the way, usually these streams I haven't watched the shows beforehand. This one I have watched all of them beforehand. Some of them years ago, but Trivial Pursuit at the end specifically, I couldn't hold myself back from watching. So like, it's nothing in it is going to be a surprise to me, but I'll walk you through it anyway. Pandemonium, from what I remember, involves the entire audience, and like it's like a gradual knockout game until it's down to a few people. This was made in 1979 while Hugh was still on the air, and I believe some of the contestants are, if you've watched almost every episode of Hugh like I have, you might recognize some of the contestants on this pilot. But anyway, let's get right to it. Here is Pandemonium.
79, take one.
And by the way, you notice a little ghost Wink Martindale in the corner. All of these were posted on Wink Martindale's YouTube channel, and thank him and whatever his staff is for putting these up. These are always fun to watch. And as I mentioned at the top, a lot of times these shows, or when you make a game show pilot, you put in temp music that's like something you wouldn't actually use, but you want it to set the mood. And this one, they used the theme from Superman the movie. So if this had gone to series, they probably would have they probably would have composed a new song that's kind of sounded like it. You'll believe a man will win money. So yeah, it just starts with a, a bunch of people scrambling for $50 bills.
And now, here's the host of Pandemonium, Steve Edwards.
Thank you. Welcome to Pandemonium. What a cleanup crew you are. Oh, nothing like a little motivation, huh? I think you will agree that this is a pretty unusual show for a couple of reasons. One, because our game is played with 118 contestants. These are the
Stray bill
contestants.
there.
Each of them starting off here with $50. And second, because our show is made up of 3 totally different games, so that the 4 contestants who survive Pandemonium Part 1 go on to play Pandemonium Part 2, and the 1 contestant who survives that will go on to play Pandemonium Part 3 for over $20,000 in cash and prizes. Okay. Let's begin. Contestants, I'm going to ask you a question that can be answered either yes or no. Now, if you think the answer to the question is yes, I want you to press your yes button. If you think the answer is no, I want you to press your...
Oh, it's $5 bills.
Quick. Okay. I want you to be careful, though, because if you are wrong, you not only lose the $50 that we just gave you, but you will be out of this first part of Pandemonium. All right, here is the question, and don't vote until I tell you to, okay? Here is the first question. Do ants stretch when they wake up? Now, if you've ever watched an ant on
I would guess
show,
yes.
waking up in the morning, is that ant stretching? Answer now.
They got to work out all that formic acid.
All right, the answers are in, and I will tell you that the answer is yes. All right. Everybody who said no, I should point this out. Not only do they stretch, but ants yawn. Did you know that? If you ever bore an ant, you'll see him yawn. Everybody who said no, you have lost your $50, and I regret to say that you are out. Bye-bye. Well, when we say out, we mean out. They are gone, aren't they? But if they're good, they'll come back a little later. We now have 67 people left for our second question. Remember, again, don't vote until I tell you to. And here is the second question. Does Ernest Hemingway's gravestone read, "Pardon me for not getting up"?
I'm going to say no.
Right. You think his gravestone reads that? Answer now.
Yeah, they stopped tape so people could exit.
All right. The
I
answer
think
is
the quality picks
no,
up.
it does not read that.
Quality picks up eventually. It's a little bit of a rough spot in the tape.
Everybody who said yes, you lose your $50 and you are out. Bye-bye. We now have 43 people left, and it gets smaller and smaller here. All right, now this is our third and our last question, but this question is a little bit special. As before, if you are wrong, you lose your $50, and if you are right, you get to keep it. However, only the first 4 people to answer correctly will go on to play Pandemonium Part 2. So you have to be smart, and you have to be quick. Now, your buttons will be activated at the sound of the bell. Listen for the bell, and here is the question. Is Vice President Mondale's first name Arthur?
No. Unless he changed it.
And the answer is no. First name, of course, is Walter Mondale. And I will tell you right now that 37 people were right. And the $50 we gave you at the start of the show is yours to keep. And now I have here on my computerized podium the seat numbers of the first 4 people who answered correctly, and they will go on to play Pandemonium Part 2. So, here they are. Seat number 83. Seat number 113.
Oh no. Oh no, your shirt's too green.
Seat number 117. Okay, we will meet them and be back to play Pandemonium Part 2 right after this.
And now,
It's like a British show. It has a designated part 2.
with your host, Steve Edwards.
Thank you, Roddy. This is Pandemonium Part 2. This is what we call the bounce game. And as you can see, all of our audience has returned safe and sound. Hello, audience, and welcome back. Right here we have the 4 people who have survived the first part of our game, and I think we should meet them right now. And who are you?
My name is Dorothy Reinhardt, and I'm a little old Oklahoma girl. I grew up on the carnival.
Yeah, it's a
Probably
little-
The first thing you want to
it's
ask
like the
about
earliest
is
1%
how in the
club,
world
kind
do they
of.
work the Headless Girl Act. And I'm never going to tell you because there are people out there that are still working the Headless Girl Act, but I was it. And I was good at it. Didn't I
The first thing I want to ask you is, do you have
We all remember going down to the town square to see the Headless Girl
any
act.
hobbies? Thank you very much, Dorothy. Yes. Who are you?
My name is Daryl Choulet, and I'm from Pasadena, and I'm a UCLA student. And this week, my major is advertising. That's I change every week. That's a problem. And I really like that field, but I kind of want to transfer to the South because deep down, I think I'm a Southern belle.
You do?
Uh-huh.
You want to live on a plantation?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
You know.
I know, but I can find myself a little Southern gentleman down there, I think, I hope.
Well, let's see if you win. Maybe you can buy one.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Yes, sir.
My name's Jeff Jaggy. I'm
Hello,
from
Jeff.
Torrance, California.
Tell me-
Originally
yeah.
from Long Island, New York. I'm a
Like the
teacher.
coast. You like the coast,
Yes,
right?
The ocean. I'm a swimmer. But I'm also a teacher, a singer-songwriter, amateur athlete. You know.
Pretty well-rounded guy, huh?
Yeah, I like to think of myself that way. You know, every man.
Well, we'll find out by the end of the show if it's true or not. Hello.
Hi, Steve. I'm Elizabeth Russell, and I just recently moved here from St. Paul, Minnesota.
How do you like it here? It's warm here, isn't
I
it?
love it, but it's a big adjustment. The people out here are different than in Minnesota.
Are we, do you find
Oh,
people in
new
California
follower.
wild
Thank
and
you,
empty?
AB Dance 3. Welcome.
Wild and crazy.
Wild and crazy people. Okay, wild and crazy people. In this game, the last person left is the winner, and we'll go on to play part 3 for over $20,000 in cash and prizes. All right, let's go play the bounce game.
This is good music.
Okay, gang, I am going to ask you a series of questions in various categories. There will be 3 questions in each of the categories. Now, if a question comes to you and you answer incorrectly, you are out of the game. You can stay in the game either by answering the question correctly or by bouncing it to any one of your opponents. Now, each of you will receive 7 such bounces in your bank, indicated by those 7 circles on each of your podiums. Now, every time we announce a category, you tell us how many of those bounces you want to use in that category. Just like that. Now, here's a very important hint. The bounce is a weapon. There will be times that even though you know the answer to a question, you may still want to bounce it to an opponent to knock him or her out of the game. All right? The first category is Sams, about people named Sam. Okay? How many bounces do you want in this category? Lock
So this
them
is
in
something
together.
that comes up in a lot, I think, maybe not a lot of Wolpert shows, but it definitely comes up in Trivial Pursuit, is a finite resource.
All right, Dorothy, how many bounces?
3, please.
3 bounces for Dorothy. Darryl, how many for you?
4.
4 for Darryl. Jeff?
4, please.
4 for Jeff. And Elizabeth?
I took 4.
Elizabeth took 4, 3, 4, 4, and 4. We will start the questioning with the nonconformist, Dorothy. Dorothy, in the category of Sams, what TV series featured a woman named Sam who twitched her nose?
Bewitched.
Oh, I'm gonna bounce to Daryl.
All right, Darryl, who has 4 bounces.
I'm going to bounce it back to you, Dorothy.
Dorothy with 2 bounces.
Okay, I'll bounce to Jeff.
Jeff, who has 4 bounces.
I will bounce that back to Dorothy.
Dorothy with just 1 bounce.
I'm gonna answer the question.
All right, the question being what TV series featured
Oop
a
Marie,
woman
thank you for
named
the
Sam?
sub. Says, swinging by to drop this off. Got to lie down because I got the COVID. Let's go, Torgo. I'm sorry. Obviously, you caught it from Jake. I hope you both get well soon.
Who twitched her nose?
Bewitched.
You're right.
Hey, she pulled it off.
Hang it in there. We go to the second
We
question
don't
here
know
in the
for
category
sure, but it follows.
Story of Sam's, and we have Dorothy with just 1 bounce, Darryl with 3, Jeff with 3, and Elizabeth, pardon me for saying this, but it's Fat City. You got 4 over there. All right, the question starting with Darryl. As a boy, which variety star was billed as Silent Sam the dancing midget?
Okay, I'm gonna bounce that to Dorothy.
Oh, Dorothy with one bounce.
Oh, Dorothy with one bounce. I've got to bounce it. I'm going to bounce it back to Daryl.
Daryl with two bounces.
I'm gonna bounce it right back to you, Dorothy.
Dorothy with no bounces. Dorothy, you have to answer this question. You must, as a boy. Which variety star was billed as Silent Sam, the dancing midget?
Oh, the only thing I can think of is Philip Morris. He's the only midget I know.
Oh, you're
Oh,
not
Hilaire
even
Satan,
close. You're
thank you for the
wrong.
raid.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Oh, Sammy Davis Jr., of course.
I am sorry, they got you. We have to say goodbye, but please leave with $100. Thank you very much, Dorothy.
Got another follow from HawkGirl331. Thank you. Hi, Hilaire Satan. Yeah, maybe I don't have a raid. Yeah, M word used. Maybe I don't have a raid alert.
All right. One down, two more to go. We are still in the category of Sam's.
It's factual though, like this.
This is the last question in the category. If you get through this,
Factual
go back to
slur
your bank
use.
to pick more for the next category. Daryl has one bounce, Jeff has three, and Elizabeth has four. Now, what famous phrase, question to Jeff, what famous phrase do we associate with Humphrey Bogart and Sam, the piano player?
I'm gonna lurk while I go look at trees. Have fun, y'all. You have fun too, Hilaire Satan.
Dorothy bounced out of the game. Better bounce it to somebody else.
I have to miss the
What famous
question.
phrase, question to Jeff, what famous phrase do we associate with Humphrey Bogart and Sam, the piano player?
Play it again.
I'm going to bounce this to Dorothy.
Dorothy bounced out of the game.
I'm
Better
sorry.
bounce it to somebody else. Daryl with one bounce.
And I'm gonna answer that.
All right, Daryl, here is the question. What famous phrase do we associate with Humphrey Bogart and Sam, the piano player?
Play it again, Sam.
You're absolutely right.
I think technically that's one of those things where he never actually said it in the movie.
Okay, now that finishes the category. Those bounces that weren't used are wasted. We go on to another category, which is money, money, money. That is our second category, so contestants, lock in your bounces. All right, Daryl, how many bounces for you?
I've got three.
All three from your bank. Okay, three for Daryl. And Jeff, how
I
many
knew
for
she'd
you?
do that. I went with three also.
Three, so you're emptying your bank. And Elizabeth?
I knew they'd both do that, so I took three.
Mutually assured destruction.
Three for Elizabeth. Three, and three. It's the second category. It is money, money, money. We will start the questioning with Elizabeth. Elizabeth, according to tradition, that is tradition, how many dollars worth of beads did the Dutch pay for Manhattan?
Another
I'm going to bounce
possible
that to
myth.
Daryl.
Daryl, who has three bounces.
I always heard it was like 22.
I'm gonna bounce that to Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, who has two bounces.
Daryl, I'm going to bounce it back to you.
Back to you, Daryl. Two bounces.
Oh, it's gonna be bounced back to you, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth with one bounce.
Okay, I'm going to answer that.
You're going to answer the question according to tradition. How many dollars worth of beads did the Dutch
Coconut
pay
Nurse
for
says
Manhattan?
24.
I think it's 29.
Inflation doesn't count. $24 is the answer. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. I am afraid we lost you, but to remember us by, please take $200. Thank you very, very much, Elizabeth. Okay. All right. We are getting down to it. We just have Daryl and Jeff left. Daryl has one bounce. Jeff has three bounces. We are in the category money, money, money. Don't look too smug, Jeff. You never know when this turns around. The question goes to you, Daryl. Whose portrait is on the $50 bill?
Grant.
Oh, I'm gonna bounce that one to Jeff.
Jeff, three bounces.
Bounce back to Daryl.
Well, isn't that a surprise? Back to Daryl, who has no bounces. And Daryl, if you can get through this, and maybe the next question, who knows where we are. All right, Daryl, whose portrait is on the $50 bill?
Oh, I'm gonna go with my favorite president, Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson is wrong. It's Ulysses S. Grant, and Jeff is our winner. All right, Ulysses S. Grant, and we thank you, Daryl, and for playing the game. For you, $300.
For the people just coming in, yes, that's the Superman theme.
For you, first of all, the winners of Manhattan Part 2 get $500, but that's not all, because in a moment you're going to have a chance to win cash and prizes worth over $20,000, and we'll be back.
Now, pandemonium!
part 3. This is what we call the People Puzzle, and I am standing here with Jeff, the lone
Not the People
survivor
Puzzler.
of those 118 contestants, and any man who can do that deserves a chance at this.
Nothing! Oh, okay. A lot of camera tricks on this show.
Air-cooled vertical twin motor, disc brakes front and rear, 5-speed transmission and electric starter, and a trip to Tahiti.
That car looks sick.
Tahiti, Bora Bora, and Tahiti.
Well, this is a pre-Miami Vice use of the Miami Vice font.
Stations and waterfalls, 14 pleasure-filled exotic days for two from Club Universe, and finally, a new sports car. The exciting 1980 Corvette.
A Hot Wheel.
The sports car with fun to spare comes with all the standard equipment and loads of options, and you can win it all on Pandemonium.
Okay, Jeff, that's some pretty exciting stuff, and we want you to win it. That's why we're here. We like to give things away, you know. So what we have done is we have selected 10 of your peers, 10 people who started in this audience, and they want to help you. And so here they are, 10 full-fledged citizens of the land of Pandemonium.
Car looks like the '89 Batmobile.
All right, we have for you Teddy Roosevelt. How you doing there, Rough Rider? John Adams, Cary Grant, Tiny Tim. Hello, Tiny. How are you? Harpo Marx, Mary Poppins, Davy Crockett, Lawrence of Arabia, J. Edgar Hoover, and Brigitte Bardot.
I think J. Edgar Hoover wants to wear what Brigitte Bardot is wearing.
These 10 citizens are going to help you win all these prizes. Now, this is how they're going to help you do it. You see a number of money envelopes. Throughout those money envelopes, we have randomly distributed $6,500. Each time you solve one of our people puzzles, you will earn one of those money envelopes, and at the end of the game, if the total amount of money you've earned equals at least $2,000, you win not only the money, and you win the prizes.
Asian Lawrence of Arabia,
and not
yeah.
only you do that, but audience, for you, if Jeff can go all the way, you will win the amount of money that's in his envelope. So,
I assume split among everyone.
let us bring down Teddy Roosevelt and John Adams and play the first people puzzle. Teddy Roosevelt and John Adams. I start stuttering around dead presidents. Okay. Number one question. Which of these presidents has his face sculpted on Mount Rushmore?
Teddy Roosevelt, easy.
Okay. Jeff, your answer?
I've been there, Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt's absolutely right on Mount Roosevelt. Along with the faces of
Mount
George
Roosevelt.
Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abe Lincoln. Thank you, President Roosevelt. Thank you, John Adams. You've earned yourself an envelope. Now let's bring down Cary Grant and Tiny Tim. Here they are. I feel it incumbent upon me to remind you that these people were sitting in the audience just like the rest of them at the beginning of this game. All right, people puzzle. People puzzle number 2. Which of these personalities has admitted taking LSD?
Tiny Tim.
All right, Jeff.
No,
your answer?
maybe that's to throw you off.
Here is Cary Grant.
Okay, under strict medical supervision, it was Cary Grant who took the LSD.
Tiny Tim looks like a
You have
cartoon
won
witch.
yourself
Yeah.
another envelope. Thank you, Cary. Thank you, Tiny. Let's bring down Harpo Marx and Mary Poppins. Harpo Marx and Mary Poppins. You have won 2 envelopes so far.
Never worked together. Can you
Here is
believe it?
Question number 3. Which of these two is carrying something which is called a parasolka in Polish?
Mary Poppins.
Okay, audience, Jeff, what is your answer?
Mary Poppins.
You're going with the audience, aren't you? Okay, a parasolka is an umbrella. Mary Poppins, it is. You've won 3 envelopes now. Thank you very much, Harpo and Mary. Let's bring down Davy Crockett and Lawrence of Arabia. And here they come. You know that these men have not fought a lot of wars together. You can tell by their concept. Here is the question for them. Which of these two was born in the same country as Bob Hope?
Lawrence of Arabia. Bob Hope was born in England.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay, Jeff is saying Lawrence of Arabia. Bob Hope is British born. Lawrence of Arabia it is. You are rolling here, Jeff. Rolling, Jeff. Rolling. J. Edgar Hoover and Brigitte Bardot. Our next couple. Coming soon to a neighborhood theater. Here they are.
Oh.
All right, the question here. Which of these people's first job was that of a librarian?
That's tough. I'm going to say Bardot.
What is your answer?
I'll have to go with Bridget Bardot.
You say Bridget Bardot. The answer, J. Edgar Hoover. You didn't get that one. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank
4 out of
you,
5,
J.
though, is
Thank
pretty
you,
good.
Bridget. You did very, very well. Citizens, please gather around the money board. Right now, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 citizens up there. Each citizen is going to take a money envelope for you, Jeff, but you must tell each one of them which envelope to take. And remember, if the total amount of money in those envelopes you select totals $2,000 or more, you will win all those prizes. You'll win the cash in the envelopes. And remember, audience, if he goes all the way, you will divide the same amount of cash. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Now, which envelope do you want Teddy Roosevelt to take?
Number 6, please.
Number 6, Teddy Roosevelt. Which envelope would you like
Ba, ba, ba,
Cary
ba.
Grant to take?
Number 2.
All right, Cary Grant, would you step up and take number 2? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mary Poppins, which one do you want her to take?
Number 4.
Number 4, Mary Poppins. And Lawrence of Arabia, which one do you want him to take?
10.
Number 10 for Lawrence of Arabia. Okay, citizens, if you will please step right up, and Jeff, come on over with me. Remember, you need $2,000 in these envelopes to win the cash and the prizes, and for the audience also to win the cash. So now let's take a look at Lawrence of Arabia. He is holding number 10, and envelope number 10 is worth $800.
All right. Almost halfway there already.
$1,200 now, Jeff. Let's see what we have from Mary Poppins. You have 8. You need 12. Cary Grant is over here. You need $500 at this point, and let's see what Archie Leach has for us on number 2.
Yeah, that's a pretty fun game. Oh my god, are they setting off fireworks? I'm ready to wolp it down. Very good.
We did it. You won all the prizes. The people are going crazy, and we will be back to find out how much more you have won and how much the audience has won. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. I have to make a comment right here. I've got to make this comment. The man won the prizes. He didn't expect to win. He won everything. And what does he do? He walks over, hugs Brigitte Bardot, and gets in the car. I mean, he knew what he was doing. All right, as you know, Jeff managed to win the prizes before we check the final envelope. And there also is another $200. So we have $2,600 for you. We have a likewise amount to be divided among our studio audience. And it has been a very good day here at the Electric Pandemonium. Our audience has won $7,650. Of course, our friend Jeff.
What up, y'all? I have you on while I do some batch cooking for the week. Okay.
$22,150.
Hope you make some good stuff.
And all in all, we have given away a grand total of $27,150 in cash and prizes. And we hope that we have won the right to come back tomorrow in the land of pandemonium.
Well, apparently not. But that was pretty fun. I feel like a lot of these are pretty fun, even if it didn't make it. So that was Pandemonium. Tinderella, by the way, was the one who was doing some batch cooking, for those that are just listening. Next up is a show called Duel in the Daytime. This was 1981. I've got the slate up right here. This was, I believe, the second pilot that Jay Wolpert made with Peter Tamarkin as the host. The first one was an early version of Rodeo Drive. That pilot hasn't surfaced yet. And this one I had I had heard about it for a long time, but it only recently got posted. It's sort of like, well, I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's like a quiz game, but each round is a different mini game. It seems like it has some problems with pacing. Like it's like best 3 out of 5 mini games, but if it actually went to 5, there'd be no time for the bonus round. But let's just jump in and check out Duel in the Daytime. It's
Pilot number
exactly El Condor Pasa. It's time to duel.
2, VTR 8, 2381, take 1. Our Father. In 1939, it was Errol Flynn and Basil Rathbone in a duel to the death in Robin Hood. In 1977, it was Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi in a duel to the death in Star Wars.
Don't like how much you're saying to the death.
Francis Jones and Steve Woodburn in a duel in the daytime. And now, here is the host of Duel in the Daytime, Peter Tamarkin.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hello and welcome to Duel in the Daytime. And a duel it is, complete with choice of weapons.
Yeah, exactly,
Only this
Donnie
time,
Lurch.
it's not pistols and sabers. Our weapons are games. That's right, games, and we've got 12 of them to be exact. We've got quiz, music, visual perception, you name it, we've got it. But the games we play today are up to our contestants. It's their choice. And the first contestant to win 3 games wins today's duel and the prizes that go along with it. And more important, a chance at the Golden Quest worth $10,000. But more about that later. Right now, let's meet our contestants. First, the challenger, Francis Jones. Come on here, Francis. How are you? Francis. Yeah. I can see you're not excited at all.
Cool.
Where are you from, Francis?
I'm from Fresno, California.
Uh-huh.
I'm the youngest of 8 kids, and so you can see I'm probably babied a lot, which I am. I've been living here in Los Angeles for 3 years, living with my sister who thought I was only coming for a 2-week stay.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks stay and you stayed for 3 years.
Hey.
I think I heard a guest like that one time,
That's what you
as I
gotta
recall. All right, but you'd like to stay here for a long time,
Oh,
wouldn't you?
definitely. I love this place.
To do that, you're going to have to win. And to do that, you have to meet your champion.
Oh.
And let's meet the champion, who has already won 2 duels, Steve Woodburn. All right, good, Steve. Steve, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
You ready? Now, did you do some working out last night?
Yep, did some push-ups, played racquetball, all sorts of things to get going.
Oh, you're all good, because we have none of those games today.
Oh,
but you're all ready for
what
them.
the
All
heck?
right, we've got new, different games. There's no point in wasting time, so let's take our positions. Francis, you are the challenger, so you will decide the first game that you and our champ Steve are going to play, and you have a choice of these 6 games. We've got Inflation, which is a pricing game. 4x4, which is a game involving communication. Spelling Eve, which ironically is a spelling game. We have Rotophoto, which involves visual perception. The Lyric Game, which tests your knowledge of music. And Scavenger Hunt, which is a pantomime game. Those are the games, the skills required.
I have no idea how a pantomime game could be called Scavenger Hunt.
Great at, so choose your weapon.
Well, I have this habit of singing in my car every record that comes on the radio. As a matter of fact, won't nobody ride with me for that very reason. I think I would love to do the Lyric Game.
You're a very confident lady. All right, let's see how you sing out of your car. But before we play the Lyric Game, let's see what we're playing for.
It's a color television with Space Phone, a Zenith 19-inch diagonal System 3 color television with computer space command remote control and new Space Phone that lets you receive phone calls through the TV speaker system.
Oh, crazy.
All right.
I can't hear you. Donahue's too loud.
All right, Francis, we're going to see how well you're going to sing outside of your car. We're going to play that Lyric Game, and here's how it's played. We are prepared to play the first 20 words from a number of songs. The contestant who buzzes in will be required to sing as many lyrics as he or she can from that point on. Now, we're going to give you a point for every word you sing correctly. And by the way, make sure you get at least the first word right, or your opponent will get a chance at that song. Now, when the 2-minute time period is up, whoever has the most points wins. And remember, we want to hear those dulcet tones. We want you to sing these songs, okay? You ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right. Here's the first song.
I could have danced.
Steve. All night, I could have danced all night and danced and danced.
You're doing a lot of dancing. And still, all right, you got 9 points on that one. Here we go with our next song.
1, 2, 3 o'clock.
Steve. 4 o'clock rock. 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock rock. 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock rock. We're going to rock. All right.
Perfect.
You'd have gone to 13 if you could have, but you got 15 points on it, so that's 24 to nothing. Francis, pretend you're in the car. All right, let's go to our next song. Francis. Nothing there. All right, we left off. Steve, jump in whenever you know the lyrics.
Let me fill you up with joy.
What's up? You got the first two. That's 2. 26 for Steve. Francis, you still got nothing. Here we go with our next song. Francis.
To the party like you were walking onto a yacht.
Nice.
You strategically.
You got 9. Francis is coming back. 9, Francis. 26 for Steve. Here we go with the next song.
Hello, Mother. Hello, Father. Here I am at Camp Granada. All the boys.
You can't miss. You got 8. That's 34 for Steve. Francis, you still got 9. Jump in when you feel like it. Here we go with the next song.
I left.
Francis.
My heart is San Francisco, high up on a hill.
High on a hill.
Oh, she got further than I would have.
Grand total 15 to Steve's 34.
Okay.
And let's go to our next song. All right, Steve. There's the sound. That means Steve has won the game. 34. Come on out here. Congratulations. What a contest. Steve, I'm telling you, you had me crazy. I'm going to get you a singing contract. Congratulations. Now, every time one of our players wins a game, we're going to award them a shield to symbolize that win. And Steve, here's your shield.
Medieval times stole all their theming from this show.
Now, that way we'll know who's ahead in the duel. For example, right now, it's no games for Francis to 1 game for Steve. But I got to add, it does take 3 games to win a duel in the daytime, right? Now, Steve, it's your turn to choose your weapon.
All right.
So once again, let's pick our positions. And here are the games. Okay, Steve, we played the lyric game, so that's blocked out. You've got the other 5 to pick from, so carefully choose your weapon.
I think that I will go for inflation.
Inflation?
Yes.
You don't look like a shopper. Why would you go for
I am,
inflation?
unfortunately, a shopper, and I remember.
I know some people on DeviantArt who would go for inflation.
I can't buy today.
Well, we're going to test your memory and see just how good you are. But before we play inflation, let's see what we're playing for.
A trip to Lake Tahoe. Yes, we'll fly 2 of you from Los Angeles for 1 week to fabulous Lake Tahoe, Nevada. You'll be staying at Caesar's Tahoe, luxurious rooms, dazzling casino, spectacular scenery, and all the elegance and excitement you'd expect from the newest realm
Sonic
in
is
Caesar's
involved.
World Resort Casino Hotel.
All right. This is the monstrosity we're going to use for inflation. I bet you're wondering what it's all about, aren't you?
Yes. Exactly.
I can tell from the expression on your faces. All right, I'm going to tell you how we play this game. And I'm going to ask Francis to describe an item and ask her to tell me how much you think the cost of it's gone up in 5 years. I'll describe it. You tell me how much the cost has gone up in 5 years. If you hit it right on the nose, that amount, nothing happens. We're going to have a wonderful time. We'll just go on forever. But if you're wrong by as much as a penny, a centime, a farthing, a drachma, well, then you're going to put your little hands over this pump over here, and you're going to give us a pump for every penny you're off. And you asked me, what are you pumping? You did ask me.
Yes.
I thought I well, what you're pumping is the old inflation bubble. That's what it is. And when it breaks, if it breaks, while you are pumping, you lose. If it doesn't, we're going to go over here to your opponent, and we're going to ask him to estimate the price difference of another item with the same fate in store for him if he's wrong. We'll continue that way until the balloon breaks. Okay?
Okay.
Everybody set?
Yes.
Getting positions here? Let me get my little price list out. All right?
Yeah, it's like Russian roulette with a balloon.
Today, a half gallon of Rocky Road ice cream cost $1.98. How much has the price gone up in 5 years?
This would be depressing today.
I think about 55 cents.
55 cents. The answer is 63 cents. You owe us 8 pumps on the old inflation bubble. Come on right over here and give me the 8 pumps. Go ahead. Just grab a hold and give it 8 big ones. We're going to go out and grab a bite. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I don't want to do it anymore.
5, 6, 7, 8. You did it. Let's come on back. Come on back over here, Francis. Come on back. Now it's passed over to Steve. Let's see what Steve can do. All right, Steve, here's yours. Today, a 2-pound bag of brown sugar cost $1.21. How much has the price gone up in 5 years?
I'd say around 47 cents.
47 cents, he says. The answer is 53 cents. You owe us 6 ones.
Big ones.
6 big ones. Come on, Francis.
Okay.
Let's go on over here. Sometimes we have shrapnel in here. I don't want to get hit by it. Okay. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can I stop?
5. After 6, you can. 6. All right, come on, let's go back. If it breaks in between pumping. If it breaks in between pumping, the last person who pumps is responsible. All right. Here we go over to you, Francis. Wait for yours. Today, an 8-ounce bag of barbecue potato chips cost $1.04. How much has the price gone up in 5 years?
40 cents.
40 cents. The answer is 33 cents. You owe us 7. All right, give me 7 on this little baby. Come on, I'm going to go check the meter in my car. Okay. Give it to
Oh yeah, there is a Mario Party game that's like this.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, you did it. Come on, let's get back here quick. Okay, Steve. Okay.
I consider an overinflated balloon to be as scary as a loaded gun to be in the room with.
Yours. Today, a 20-ounce box of Raisin Bran cost $1.70. How much has the price gone up in 5 years?
Ooh, I would say probably 47 cents.
47 cents, he says. The answer is 57 cents. You owe us 10 big ones. I'm going to be out in the car listening to everything. Come on. Okay.
I kind of just have the one joke.
1, 2.
Ooh, I can hear it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on, Francis. Go ahead, Francis. Get over here quick. Today, 8 ounces of beef salami cost $1.25. How much has the price gone up in 5 years?
30 cents.
30 cents. The answer is 40 cents. You owe us 10. 10. You can sing as you do it if you like. 10 big ones. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Go!
Come on back, Francis. Come on back, Francis. Steve wins the game.
I felt that through the screen.
Is it the Bakers? All right. Steve won the game. That's a heartbreaker. Steve won the game, so we're going to award Steve another shield. Oh, wow. And now that tells us that today's duel stands at no games for Francis to 2 games for Steve. But I hasten to remind you that it does take 3 games to win a duel in the daytime, and we're going to come back to play another game right after this.
Hey, Mandy. You just missed everyone getting the hell scared out of them by a balloon popping.
Hi, Wink here.
Oh, that's right. He was doing these.
Everybody out there who is supporting my new Wink's Word Searches book. It's word searches with a trivia twist. I've compiled a series of 75 themed puzzles, ranging from Back to the Future to Yellow Stuff and everything in between. When you're done, you'll be challenged to answer my Winker's Thinker. Play hide and seek with words and test your trivia IQ. Kind of fun, and it's available now on Amazon.
Relive trauma.
Hold, please.
Left in a blooper. Apparently there's another pilot of this show where they left in a bunch of stuff, including like multiple replays of the bonus round.
Welcome back to Duel in the Daytime. Welcome back, and now let's take a look at our scores and find out where we're at. We've got Francis with no games, and we've got Steve with 2 games. But I have to remind you that it does take 3 games to win a Duel in the Daytime. And Francis, it's now going to be your choice of weapons, only this time you have 6 new games to choose from, and they are Dateline, which is a game involving historical recall, Tug of War, which is a quiz game, Blurb, which is a game involving educated guessing, Sloppy Slogans.
Dateline is the game where you walk in a room and Chris Hansen asks you to sit down.
Which tests your knowledge of pop knowledge, Grapevine, which is a gossip game, and Take It Off, which is a game involving visual perception. Now, this is a very important game for you because it's 2-0. So you got to stave off this guy over here, right? So you want to be very careful in choosing your weapon.
Okay. I know my pop knowledge is tops. So I think I'm going to go with Sloppy Slogans.
Sloppy Slogans, pop knowledge. You think you can blow him away on that?
Get this.
The gauntlet has been thrown down, but before we play Sloppy Slogans, let's see what we're playing for.
It's a bedroom set, a lovely 4-piece bedroom group from Lane Sandhurst Collection. Quality crafted, elegantly designed in muscle ash, burl, and pecan veneers with brass hardware. A group that will add elegance to any home.
Sloppy Slogans it is, and Francis, a big game for you, and of course a big game for Steve. Now here's how we're going to play Sloppy Slogans. We're going to show you a popular advertising slogan in which one word is wrong. When you think you know the correct slogan, press the buzzer. Repeat the corrected slogan, and if you're right, we're going to give you 5 points. And we're going to give you an additional 5 points if you can give me the brand name being
Yeah, well, that
advertised.
was a bonus
But
round
you don't want to be too quick on the
prize.
trigger, because if you're wrong on either the slogan or the brand name, your opponent will get a chance to pick up wherever you left off. 30 points wins the game. Everybody set? Here we go with your first sloppy slogan. Put a tiger in your shorts, Steve.
Tank. Put a tiger in your tank.
Tank, that's right for 5 points. Can you
Okay,
give the
so
product name for
it's
another
like
5
few.
points?
Exxon gas.
Exxon is right. That's 10 points for Steve. Okay. Here we go with our next sloppy slogan. The greatest slob on earth. Francis.
The greatest
Show.
show on earth.
Show on earth is right for 5 points. Can you give me the name of the product for another?
Circus. Barnum Bailey Circus.
Barnum and Bailey is right. That's 10 points. Tied game. 10 to 10. All right. And here we go with our next sloppy slogan. That beer that made Milwaukee burp. Francis.
The beer that made Milwaukee sing.
Oh, no. We've got to go over to Steve now. Can you give me the name?
The beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Famous is right for 5 points. For another 5 points, can you give me the name of the beer?
Schlitz.
All right.
Very good.
20 points. All right. Very important. It's 20 points for Steve. Francis has 10. 30 points wins this game. So that means if Steve comes in on this and gets the slogan and the brand name, he will win the game and he will win the duel in the daytime.
I know.
Everybody ready for this one? Here is your next sloppy slogan. No more ring around the finger.
Collar.
Francis.
No more ring around the collar.
Right for 5
I think
points.
that's tied.
For another 5 points, can you give me the name of the product?
Hi.
No, it's not tied. Steve, can you give me the name of the product for 5 points?
Clorox.
No, both wrong. It's Whisk.
Oh.
Whisk just spent $900 million in advertising and nobody remembers. No problem. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Again, it's 20 to 15. Steve gets in on this one and gets both right. He's going to win the duel in the daytime. All right, here we go with our next sloppy slogan. Up, up, and oy vey. Steve.
Up and away.
That's right for 5 points. Now, Steve, for the game winner and the duel in the daytime
It's
win,
the slogan
can you
for
give me
Superman.
the name of the product being advertised?
The only thing I can think of is the Fifth Dimension. I know that's not.
No, it's not the Fifth Dimension. Francis, can you give me the name of the product being advertised?
Up and away.
I think it's an airline.
No, it's TWA or Superman. Either one would have been
Oh,
right.
Superman
All right.
was acceptable.
We are even more tense now. 25 for Steve. Francis has 15. If Steve gets in, he's going to win it. Here we go with our next sloppy slogan. That's what's up front that bounces, Francis.
It's what's up front that counts.
Right for 5 points, Francis.
This I have no idea.
Francis, you're making a comeback. Can you give me the brand name for 5 points?
What's up front that counts? PSA.
No, Francis, it's not PSA. Steve, for the game win and the dual win, can you give me the product name being advertised?
Cigarette, but I can't.
It's a specific cigarette, Winston cigarette. All right.
Oh, wow.
20 for Francis.
So you couldn't advertise cigarettes on TV anymore, but you could reference cigarette
25
advertisements.
for Steve. Obviously, this is a real tense moment. All right, here we go with our next sloppy slogan. The thrill of victory, the odor of
Agony of defeat.
Steve for the win.
Thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Right, and you win the game, and you win the duel.
And that's Wide World of Sports. That guy absolutely eating shit on the ski jump.
What a challenger, Francis. I thought you were making a comeback. That's a great comeback, and unfortunately it does mean that we've got to say goodbye to Francis. But you've been a great contestant. We've got some great prizes for you backstage, and I thank you for being on Duel in the Daytime. Bye-bye. Terrific. Steve, you have won. You have won $14,870 in prizes. But more important, in just a moment, you're going to have a chance at $10,000 in cash.
I could do that.
That's not bad, is it? All right, you take a deep breath while we take this commercial break. Steve, you have had some day. Yeah. What a day. You have won a color TV and a space phone, a trip to Lake Tahoe, a bedroom set. What a bunch of prizes. You have dueled hard, and you have dueled well.
Thank you.
And won 3 shields, which now allows you to enter into the arena, where both luck and knowledge could bring you $10,000 in less than 30 seconds. Not bad. Not bad day's pay for winning the Golden Quest.
Is it?
That's the Golden Quest. All right, here's how it works, Steve. Behind each of these 3 screens, there is a part of a question. Now, the more screens you select, the more of the question you'll see. Each time you select a screen, you can take as many guesses as you like. If you need to see all 3 screens to answer the question correctly, you win $2,500. If you can do it in 2 screens, you win $5,000. And finally, if you can answer the question after you pick the first screen, you'll win that $10,000 in cash.
All right.
All right. A lot of money. Now, you only have 30 seconds to answer the question. So if you need more information, don't hesitate to call for another screen. All right?
Okay.
We're going to start the clock when I say ready. When I say go, I'll say ready now. Okay, ready?
There's the sign we were supposed to see before.
2. Name the president for $10,000. Reagan! Oh, he said it! He said it! $10,000! You won it! You did it!
I was lucky to get named the president first.
Let's take a look. Let's reveal the screens. Let's take a look. Name the president who was once governor of Georgia. And the answer is Jimmy Carter. And you got it. You got it for $10,000. Now, added to your previous winnings of $14,870, that's another $10,000 for a grand total of $24,800.
That's crazy because you've got to write a question that can be split into 3 parts and make it clear that what's the beginning, what's the middle, what's the end.
Tomorrow, you'll meet another challenger. And once again, it will be games at 20 paces on Duel in the Daytime.
Yeah, it was easy, but if he had picked, if he had picked one of the other screens, like if he had picked 3 and gotten of Georgia, actually that might have given it to him too. But maybe if he'd just gotten who was once governor, that might not have worked out for him. All right, so that was Duel in the Daytime. Next up is Fast Friends. So there's a little bit of an asterisk on the unsold part of this one because it didn't sell in America, but the format was picked up in England. And I found an episode of the English version we might watch at some point in the future. Now, you may notice that the logo at the bottom, it looks okay here, but in motion it's a little rough. There was at the beginning of this upload, there was an interview with Bob Goen, the host, and he said that the title Fast Friends was come up with on the day of shooting the pilot. Like, they didn't have a title until the day they shot it. So, as a result, the logo is very rushed. It's like somebody booted up an Amiga and made the logo. And that's why it kind of looks rushed, because it was. So here is the pilot for Fast Friends.
Okay. Right, and we were talking to you.
And this is 1984.
Sports here. No sports. Okay.
Our two contestants, Johanna Sartori and John Grant, want to make new friends from this special section of our studio audience, because whoever gets the most friends has the best chance to win $10,000 today.
Yeah, look at that.
Fast Friends! And here's the host of Fast Friends, Bob Goen!
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. How you doing? Thank you.
Bob Goen, you might also know from Entertainment Tonight, and he also hosted Wheel of Fortune when it moved from NBC to CBS.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Welcome to Fast Friends. Let's meet our two contestants, shall we? First off, our defending champion, who is back from yesterday with $2,500 in cash and prizes, Johanna Sartori. Hi, Johanna.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
So I always think it's weird in these pilots when they bring up someone as being a returning champion. I guess they have to practice, here's what it would look like if we had a returning champion.
Now it's Johanna, right?
That's correct.
Not Joanna.
Johanna.
Is there a story behind that?
Comes from Giovanna.
I'm sorry I asked.
Well, for guys over 30, it's very hard to make friends, so you might as well make it into a competition.
Terrific. But today you have a chance at $10,000 in cash, right? At least you have a chance at $10,000 in cash. Right. There's a guy over here standing in between you and that chance. Let's meet him. John Grant. Hi, John.
Nice to meet you.
John, I don't know anything about you, so give me the John Grant story here.
Okay, I'm a native of Hollywood, and I work in theatrical lighting design as well as production and television commercials.
Yeah. And I love your glasses. They're terrific.
Thank you very much.
Did you get those in Superman? Is that the deal?
No, it's actually a place on Wilshire Boulevard.
Okay.
Superman's come up on all 3 shows so far.
Regardless, a little bit later on in the show, Johanna and John are going to be playing a game to determine which one of them goes on for a chance at $10,000 in cash. But in order to play that game, you're going to need some friends to help you out. In other words, teammates. And the more teammates they have, the better their chances of winning the game. And like we said at the start of the show, those teammates are going to be coming from this special section of our studio audience. 32 people who were in line before the show and selected to come up here. And eager, I think, to be part of a team because, now wait a second. Here's why. Because anybody who is going to get $200 in cash.
All right. I'll be your friend for $200.
Now, here's how we're going to select the teams. Each contestant is going to get a packet containing 4 questions. That'll give you the opportunity to get up to 4
Mandy says I don't like him with a mustache.
Johanna, you're the defending champ, so we're going to start with you. And what we're going to do is give you 30 seconds in total time. Right there. There we go. Those 30 seconds are yours. Now, before I read each question to the special section, I want you to look at that question and tell me how many seconds of the 30 seconds you're willing to spend to find somebody out there with the right answer. Now, if Johanna gets that right answer before time runs out, she's got herself a friend on her team. But if time expires before you get the right answer, she'll have missed one opportunity to get a teammate. We'll go through all 4 questions, or all 30 seconds, whichever comes first, and then we'll give John a chance at making some fast friends with his 4 questions. Gotcha. You're the champ. It's your decision. Which would you like? Which packet, A or B?
I'm going to take A.
A it is. We'll put B over here with you, John, and we'll come back, I promise. We'll deal with you in a second. Johanna, come on down here. Let's take a look at your first question. While you look at this, we'll show the folks at home. Take a look at it. Now think about how many seconds that you want to spend to find someone with the right answer. But don't spend any more time than you think you'll need, because once you've spent that
draft,
time, it's
maybe?
gone for good.
Oh, no,
Right?
high
How many
life.
seconds do you want to spend?
6 seconds.
6 seconds. We'll take that away from your total time. We'll put those 6 seconds on the countdown clock, and we'll send you out amongst them, Joanna. Go find somebody you want to start with.
William.
Now, William, remember, Joanna, if William doesn't give you the right answer and you've still got time left on the clock, move on to somebody else as long as they're in another row, okay? William, what brand is known as the champagne of bottled beer?
Budweiser. Miller.
That's it.
Oh, I guess it's just Miller.
Come on up here. There's $200 for you. Take a spot on Joanna's side. Okay.
I drank a lot of High Lifes when I was in New
That's
York.
not so tough, is it? Nothing to it. You've already got one friend. You've got 24 seconds left. Let's take a look at your second question. How many seconds you want to spend here?
7 seconds.
Oh, it's easy.
7.
Oscar.
Okay, we'll take that from your total time. We'll put 7 seconds on the countdown clock. And once again, go find somebody you want to start
Gloria.
with. Gloria. Name the Sesame Street Muppet who lives in a trash can.
Oscar.
That's it. There you go. $200 for you. This is easy. Oscar the Grouch, right? That's the guy we're looking for. Okay, you've got 2 friends now, Joanna. You're 2 for 2. Here's your third question. How many seconds you want to spend here?
That I don't know.
Oh, Joanna.
9 seconds.
9 seconds, okay? Take that from your total
Like, I want to
time.
say
You're not
Russia,
too sure
but I
about
feel like
this
that's
one,
too
huh?
obvious.
We'll put the 9 seconds on the countdown clock.
Or
and
USSR,
we'll
I
send
guess
you
it would
out.
have been at the
Go
time.
find somebody who knows the answer to this.
Yvonne.
Yvonne, from what Eastern Bloc country is women's tennis champion Martina Navratilova?
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, wow.
Yes!
Back when it was one country.
Here, Joanna, $200 for you. Take your spot on Joanna's team. You're 3 for 3. You've got yourself 3 friends so far. And you've
So
got
now she must be from
more
one or the other. I guess it's whatever town she was born in.
chance. Take a look at your final question. All right? You know somebody out there who might know that one?
I want to hold your
All right,
hand.
You've got 8 seconds to spend. We'll put them all on the countdown clock. Go get them. Your last chance for a friend. Here we go.
Cherry.
Cherry, what was the first #1 Beatles song in the United States?
Let me do. Carol, I want to hold your hand.
That's it, Carol. Come on up. $200 for you. Take a spot up there. Nothing to it, huh, Joanna? 4 friends you got. 4 for 4.
So this music is Far From Over by Frank Stallone, which was also used in the Fortune Hunters pilot.
You see what you're up against, huh? Yeah. 4 for 4. She's got 4 friends. You've got a chance to get 4. We'll also give you 30 seconds total time. Here's your first question. How many seconds do you want to spend on that?
I will spend
I think it's 24.
7 seconds on that one.
Okay, we'll take 7 seconds from your total time. We'll put the 7 seconds on the countdown clock. Get on out there. Find somebody who knows this one for you.
Keith.
Keith, how many carats is pure gold?
16.
22.
24.
That's
Oh,
it.
just in
Yes,
time.
Wallace, come on. You got it.
We don't talk about Frank Stallone as a society.
Too close. Too close. You had no time left. What do you mean too close? They don't get closer than
Yeah,
that.
24.
Well,
It's the
you've got
highest
one friend
number.
so far out of 1 try. Let's look at your second question. How many seconds are you going to spend here?
Ooh, that's
It's gotta be
tough
white,
one.
right?
I think I'm going to spend
Same as
8
karate.
seconds on that one.
8 seconds from your total time. All 8 go up on the countdown clock. Go find somebody who can help you out on this one.
Hey, William.
William, what is the color of the lowest ranking judo belt?
White.
That's it! Hey, William, come here, get your money. There you go. Now
Get your money. Go over here. No, go over there.
Just a second of hesitation there.
All right. William does his own choreography, by the way. Doesn't matter. You've got 2 friends up there. You're 2 for 2. Let's take a look at your third question.
Oh, that's an easy one.
You think so?
I'm only going to put...
It's 1 or 2.
Oh, let's see. 5 seconds on the clock.
5 out of your 15. Okay, we take 5 away. We put 5 on the countdown clock. Go find somebody.
I would've
who
gone
might
for
become
7.
Your third friend.
Hey, Paul.
Paul, what planet is Earth's nearest neighbor?
Mars.
No, that was Venus.
Saturn.
No.
Richard.
The moon. No!
Not a planet.
Didn't get it in time. Did not get it in time, John. Took longer than 5 seconds. It's not that easy. It was Venus is what we're looking for. Venus,
So why aren't we going there? Oh, it's probably hot.
Had more time. Okay, you still got 2 friends. You're down to your final question, though. A chance for a third. Take a look at this.
Ooh, well,
You think you can find somebody with the answer to that?
I don't know this because it's not,
All right, you've got 10
despite
seconds
what
left. We'll
people
give
say,
all
it's not
10
currently
seconds. Put 'em on the
1984.
countdown clock. Double digits up there. Go find somebody who knows this.
Okay, Gail.
You scared her, didn't you? Gail, from what state is the current Miss America?
Just name a state.
Utah.
That's it, Libby, yeah.
Russian's been to Venus already.
Okay, you got that last one. Take a look. You got 3 friends, John. You got 3 of them up here.
All right, John at a significant disadvantage.
A live group. Our 2 contestants are now captains of pretty lively teams. We'll find out which captain goes on for a chance at $10,000 when we come back after this. Don't go away.
And the use of this song was also a day of decision. Mormon Miss America, yeah. Well, every state's represented.
We're back here to play Fast Friends, and first off, you'll notice that the special section of our studio audience is missing. That's because everybody has gone back to their regular seats in the audience, all except for those few lucky folk who have managed to make their way onto one of our 2 teams. And since they are here, let's meet our new recruit, shall we?
Yeah, Miss Utah is not going to show up in Penthouse or whatever.
Let's come down here and meet a lady who apparently is named Carol, right?
Yeah.
Carol, what's your last name?
Cisco.
Where are you from, Carol?
Originally from Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, terrific. How long have you been out here? Oh, yeah, get a little response there.
About 3 years.
Yeah? Good. Well, we hope you stay for a while and maybe win some money here tonight. Here's Yvonne. Yvonne what?
Lockhart.
And what do you do, Yvonne?
I'm in law school, my last year, graduating this year.
Oh, good luck. Hope things go well at the bar. Gloria, the bar exam, the bar exam. This is a classy lady. Gloria, what's your last name?
Rivers.
Gloria Rivers, and what do you do?
I am an order administrator for a reprographic company.
Great. We're glad to have you with us here. Leo, what do you do?
I'm a real estate investor.
Yeah? And what's your last name? I forgot to ask you.
Elliot.
Leo Elliott. Okay. Well, you know Joanna here, Sartori. She's your captain. She's the one who brought you all together. And here are the folks over here who are going to stand in your way. Let's see, the challengers, Libby. Hi, Libby. How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your last name?
My last name is Jackman.
And what do you do?
I am a kindergarten teacher in Newport Beach.
Noble profession indeed.
Yeah.
Nice to have you. William.
I did.
Yeah, what do you do?
I work for a production company that makes rock videos.
Rock
Oh,
videos?
nice.
Really? What's your last? Yeah. Got some rock fans out there. What's your last name?
Yeah, he's got the sunglasses of someone who works in rock videos, if you know what I'm saying.
Garcia. William Garcia. Glad to have you along. And the pick of the litter, here he is, Colin. Hi, Colin. What's your last name?
Baxter.
Colin Baxter, what do you do?
I'm a tour guide at a Universal Studios tour.
Oh, hell yeah.
Really? Terrific. Well, you can show us around when we get done here, okay? You, of course, know John, your captain. Now, here's how
Bruce the Shark, of course, named after Steven Spielberg's attorney.
we're going to play our game. I'm going to ask each member of one team a question. They answer that question correctly, they remain in the game. Answer the question incorrectly, and they're out of the game. Then we'll go over to the other side and we'll do the same thing. Now, one thing to keep in mind, a team captain cannot be knocked out of the game as long as he or she has teammates. So what happens
No
when
man
a
is a
captain
failure
answers
who
the
has
question
friends.
incorrectly? Well, they will lose the teammate in the last position at that time. The only time a team captain can be knocked out of the game is if he or she has no friends left to lose. If that happens, if the captain's knocked out, the game is over and the surviving team wins. The good news is each friend on that winning team is going to get a bonus of $300 in cash.
Okay.
All right?
So you can win $500 just for showing up.
So with the $200 you got for already coming up here, that's $500 that you could walk away with. And you'll get the $300 bonus whether or not you've been knocked out of the game along the way. All right? Now, here's how we're going to start with a toss-up question. And this question, like all the questions in round 2, is multiple choice. Now, captains, if you should buzz in and answer the question correctly, you'll have the option of which team goes first, yours or your opponent's. But if you buzz in and answer incorrectly, your opponent will have that same option. Ready to go? Hands on your buzzers, captains. Let's take a look at your top.
For the pilot, they grabbed a lot of people who worked on a lot, I bet.
Frank Zappa has a
Well, I think this was for CBS, so it wouldn't have been taped at Universal Studios.
daughter named Inner Tube, Moon Unit, or neither.
Moon Unit.
John.
Moon Unit.
That's right. Moon Unit is right. Okay. How you could do that to a child, I'll never understand, but Moon Unit Zappa. Okay, you have the choice.
Strong
now. You want to
name.
go first with your 3 friends, or make Johanna and her 4 friends go first?
Well, I've always believed in ladies first, so I will give Johanna the
Okay, let's see if that works out for you. Carol, we're going to start with you then. Here's your question. We're looking for a few good men is the motto of the Gabor sisters, the U.S. Marines, or neither?
The U.S. Marines.
Sure is, yeah.
I like this question format.
Although the Gabor sisters have implemented it a few times. Yvonne, while writing his name in concrete at Grauman's Chinese Theater, Burt Reynolds got stuck in the cement. Spelled his name wrong. Or neither.
Got stuck.
Spelled his name wrong?
Yeah, that's right. You weren't too sure, but you're right. Gloria, Nancy Reagan told school kids,
oh boy,
when I was your age, there was no such thing around. Was she referring to the wheel?
Blowjobs.
Democrats? Or neither?
Neither.
That's right.
Bert with an I. I thought it would have been with an E.
Leo, everybody's surviving here. Let's see if you do the same. Traditionally, Leo, Raggedy Ann dolls have a phrase printed
Actually, he misspelled it Turd Ferguson.
on them. Is that phrase, I love you, I break for dolls, or neither?
I love you.
I love you.
I like you too, and that's the answer. Yeah. That's the first time a man's ever said that to me, Leo. Thank you very much. Johanna,
gay.
everybody is still here. You're doing well. Here's your question. Now remember, if you should answer your question incorrectly, you're not out of the game, but Carol will be because she's in the last position. Here's your question. In the film Casablanca, the line, "Not so fast, Louis," was said by Louis's wife, Louis's driving instructor, or neither?
Neither.
Neither?
That's right. It was said by Louis' best friend, Rick Blaine, who was played by Humphrey Bogart. Look at this. Nobody eliminated your first pass. You see what you're up against here, John? Okay, you've got 3 friends on your side, a total of 4 people. Let's see how you do. Libby, at a meeting of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, it was announced that communication had taken place between 2 containers of yogurt, Jupiter and Uranus, or neither.
Jupiter and Uranus.
No, actually between 2 containers of yogurt.
Oh, crazy.
The bacteria was sending off electrical impulses or something like that. Libby, we've got to send you away. I'm sorry.
I have fruit on the bottom.
Yeah, so don't worry about Libby. If John's team wins, she still gets that $300 bonus, so don't fret. William, whenever Liza Minnelli is asked to sing Over the Rainbow, her usual reply is, "It's not my job." I don't know the words. Or neither.
I don't know the words.
No. She says, William, it's already been sung. We're looking for neither. I'm sorry. You have to step aside. John, things not going well for you here. You only have, not at all. You only have 1 friend left. Colin, you're an important friend to him right now. Here's your question. Walt Disney once got into trouble with the censors because Mickey and Minnie weren't married. His cartoon cows had big
That
udders.
one.
Or neither.
Mickey and Minnie weren't married.
His cartoon cows had big udders. Colin, join your friends over there.
Nothing about Donald Duck not wearing pants.
Well, John, these are some swell friends you've picked.
Oh, my.
You are all alone, my friend. You know what that means. You answer a question incorrectly, you're no longer protected. You will answer a question incorrectly, and Johanna's team will win. It's that simple. Okay. This is important. Now, listen very carefully. When she was a little girl, Anne Margaret lived in a funeral parlor, cookie jar, or neither.
Funeral parlor.
I'm going to say funeral parlor.
When she was a little girl, Anne Margaret lived in a funeral parlor. You're right. Okay. You got 1 survivor out of 4. We're still alive, though. That's the key. As for you folks, 5 of you still alive against only 1. Let's see how it works out here when we come through for a second pass. Carol, aboard a ship, a blue Peter is a type of exotic disease,
Children's show.
seasick tablet, or neither.
I believe it's a flag, so neither.
And hurry.
Seasick tablet.
No, it's actually a flag. We're looking for neither. It means that the ship is ready to sail. Carol, hurry, get out of there so we can get to the next question. Yvonne, in 1975, the U.S. government spent $84,000 to find out how chickens kiss without lips. Why people fall in love, or neither.
I hope it's 2.
Why people fall in love?
Yeah, they do. Gloria, here's your question. In Beverly Hills, there is an intersection of 2 streets called Gregory and Peck. Gary and Cooper, or neither.
Gregory and Peck.
You've been there, yeah. Leo, the ambassador of love was a nickname President Nixon gave to G. Gordon Liddy, Sammy Davis Jr., or neither.
Neither.
Sammy Davis Jr.
No, we gave it to Pearl Bailey. We're looking for neither. Leo, you got to step aside. Join Carol over there. Starting to dwindle down here, Joanna. Remember now.
Okay, not as
if you
uneven as it
submit,
seemed.
Yvonne is gone, and things will be almost even. John's over there getting a bigger smile on his face. Here you go, Joanna. The ancient Romans used to amuse themselves by playing pin the tail on the emperor, strip backgammon, or neither.
Strip backgammon.
Strip backgammon.
Yeah! Okay. Second time through, you're still with 3 people on your team. John, you know the situation. Miss a question, and you're gone. Joanna's team will win. Very carefully listen now. Martial arts expert Bruce Lee was once Brenda Lee. Cha-cha champion of Hong Kong, or neither.
I think it's B.
I'm going to say neither.
Bruce Lee, the martial arts expert, was once the cha-cha champ of Hong Kong. You're wrong. Joanna, your team the winner.
Where you learn how to move.
That was close. That was close. Nicely done, though. Hey, gang, you played well. You played well. You couldn't wait long enough for him to get down to nothing, but look. You got
Oh, yeah,
the
I didn't even think
$200
about
coming
that.
Up here, right? Thanks for joining us here on Fast Friends. As for your captain, John, who brought you here, we have something special, right, Bob Hilton?
Yes, indeed. John, for you, we have a video cassette recorder from Mackay. You'll be able to watch your favorite movies and Fast Friends any time of day or night with this prize worth $900.
All right. And our thanks for joining us here on Fast Friends. Thank you, John. Thank you, gang. As for you folks, boy, you put together quite a team here, didn't you, Joanna? You did well. You friends get the $200 for coming up here. We're going to give you that bonus now of $300, $500 for each one of you. And Joanna, you're
in 1958, he won the Hong Kong Crown Colony Cha-Cha Championship.
Special, right, Bob?
Johanna,
Thank
you'll
you,
be riding
Crewmaster.
high with his and her scooter.
Oh, yeah.
Honda. We make it simple and we make it fun, too. A prize valued at $1,800.
All right. Nice prize. Nice prize. Hey, gang, you better wish your captain luck because when she comes back, we're going to be playing the photo finish for $10,000 in cash. Wish her luck. We'll be back for that right after this. Don't go away.
Oh, Crewmaster said didn't believe it, so I had to look it up.
Here we are, back with our champion, Johanna Sartori. And Johanna, we're ready now for the photo finish. Now, this is a picture of Lauren Bacall singing a song in the movie To Have and Have Not. Now, in just a moment, you're going to see the pictures of 8 people. And I'll tell you now that one of the people you're about to see provided the singing voice for Lauren Bacall in the 1944 film To Have and Have Not. Here they are. Jim Neighbors, Barbara Streisand, Andy Williams, Kate Smith, Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Luciano Pavarotti, and Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, some of these people,
Those
you
are
know,
your choices.
were not
Now,
alive
here's how the
then.
game works. You tell me the 7 people who did not provide the singing voice for Lauren Bacall in the 1944 film To Have and Have Not. In other words, leaving the final face up there, the person who did provide the singing voice for Bacall, and I'll give you $10,000 in cash.
I think it's either Andy. Again, I watched this a long time ago. I think it's either Andy Williams or Kate Smith.
You'd stumble somewhere along the way and prematurely pick the person who did provide the singing voice for Bacall in To Have and Have Not, and I'll give you $100 for each correct decision you've made up until that point. Simple enough?
Simple enough.
Let's get started. You've got 8
I feel like
faces to
Andy
choose
Williams
from. Who would
is
you like
like
to
a more
start with?
surprising answer.
Not even more, huh? Michael Jackson, she says. We'll see if you're right. Michael Jackson. Right you are. Okay. Off to a good start. Okay? Who did not provide Lauren Bacall's singing voice?
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper?
Yes.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yes.
Probably the same reason, right?
Yes.
Not born yet? That may be. We'll see if you're right. Cyndi Lauper. There you go. Okay. 2 out of 2. I've got 6 faces left. Who did not provide Lauren Bacall's singing voice?
Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand. It's interesting. You're getting rid of all the women here first off. Barbara Streisand. We'll see if you're right. Barbara Streisand. You're right. Okay. The
I think Pavarotti's
film,
an
Have
easy,
and Have Not. Who didn't provide
obviously
Lauren
wrong one
Bacall's
too.
singing voice? We got 5 choices left.
Jim Neighbors.
Jim Neighbors.
Yes.
Any reason?
I know it's Gomer.
Gomer. We'll see if you're right about old Gomer. Let's see. Jim Neighbors. There you go. All right, now you're halfway home. You've got 4 faces left. Andy Williams, Kate Smith, Frank Sinatra, and Luciano Pavarotti. Who do you think?
You thought he wasn't going to do Moon River, but then bam, second encore.
Luciano Pavarotti? Okay, you're sure. Luciano Pavarotti. All right. I'm almost afraid to do this. Luciano Pavarotti. Is she right? Yes, she is. Okay. Okay, now. We got 3 faces left. Serious business now.
Oh, Lauren Bacall had kind of a husky voice, so a male makes sense.
Frank Sinatra, who did not provide
Cut
Lauren
Sinatra.
Bacall's singing voice into Have and
I
Have
ain't
Not.
singing for no chick.
Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. Well, he was sure singing in 1944.
Make a
Okay, we'll
pizza.
see if you're right. Frank Sinatra. There you go. Okay. Okay, now wait a second. This next decision is worth
Coconut Ears thinks it's Andy.
$10,000 in cash. Who did not provide the singing voice for Lauren Bacall in To Have and Have Not in 1944? Kate Smith or Andy Williams? Kate Smith? Well, you got him on your side, that's for sure. Kate Smith. Okay, now look. When we drop Kate Smith's picture, if there is a thumbs down sign, you lose. But if there's a dollar sign back there, you've won $10,000. Kate Smith. For $10,000, let's see if you're right. Kate Smith. Can you believe that? 10 grand. Now look, you won the $10,000 here. You won the motor scooters worth $1,800. You came back with $2,500 from yesterday. Right now, a total prize package worth $14,300.
And of course, since it's a pilot, she probably didn't actually get any of that.
3 new friends you made. Oh, terrific. What a day. Hey,
4 new friends.
We've made some friends, too. Fast friends. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
Yeah, that is a fun game. Again, seems like it would be easy to not be able to time it out correctly. There's that thing again. Alright, so that was Fast Friends. So our last show is pretty historically significant. It's the first ever attempt to make a game show out of Trivial Pursuit. There's been other Trivial Pursuit shows since then. In the 90s, there was the one with Wink Martindale. Then I think there was like an ESPN one. There was one in 2008 with one of the Brady kids hosting. And there's a current one on now with LeVar Burton that I think is pretty good on the CW. So, you know, who watches it? But this upload, again from the Wink Martindale YouTube channel, at the end, because this was being sold in syndication, and this tape, this pilot was not just a run through of the show, it was also meant to sell the show to prospective buyers. Has a little like 3-minute thing at the end of Jay Wolpert talking and like explaining all the creative decisions that were made, and it's really interesting. Really get to look inside the process. So here is the 1987, 3 years after the game came out, pilot for Trivial Pursuit.
You know how great it is playing Trivial Pursuit for fun?
Oh, I love it.
Well, supposing I told you that I know a place where they play Trivial Pursuit for money.
Oh, wow, that'd be great.
Like to know where?
Yeah, you can. Right here! On the television edition of Trivial Pursuit.
You're going to use LeVar Burton, bring back Reading Rainbow.
Thank you very much. And before we go any further, I'd like to introduce you to my buddy, Linda Marr. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
All right. And, you know, the truth is that Linda and I have never worked together before, but we think we've managed to divide up the responsibilities pretty well. I'll interview the contestants.
And I'll describe the prizes.
We'll share the job of explaining the rules.
And asking the questions.
No, actually, that's not true. I'm going to be asking all the questions.
All the questions?
Yeah, I'll. Questions.
I don't get to ask one question?
Nope, but I'll tell you what. You can change the category board.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun.
You see, every problem can be solved if we just keep our heads. Okay. Now, with that out of the way, let's...
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so they clearly... this is something that Jay talks about at the end, but they were going for... They actually wanted there to be like a will they, won't they between the two. It's weird. Also, I just realized the board has the wrong number of spokes.
Tell me something trivial about you. Now, Joanne, we know you're an accountant for an oil company. Your family has been here quite a while.
They have. I can trace my ancestry back to the Mayflower.
And Randy, you're the vice president of a steel construction company.
Right.
You've been pretty regular with your hobby.
Oh, I love playing golf. I have not missed playing golf 1 week for the last 15 years.
Okay. And now, Melissa, well, you have kind of an unusual hobby.
Yeah.
When you hear that rock and roll, you just can't control yourself. What do you do?
I stand in front of a mirror and I lip sync to it.
All right, give us a sample. Do a number for us.
Okay, get this one.
Okay. Isn't that great?
Fantastic. That was Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. And Yvonne, you're an attorney.
Yes.
And you're working on some research I think we all need to hear about.
Well, I'm working on a law review article on polygamy.
Polygamy?
Yes.
Are you for or against?
Oh, well, the video will be out soon.
The video. A how-to video. Okay.
It's called Bang Bus.
Good luck to all of you.
The object of the game is to be the first person to get into the hub. Whoever does that wins the game and gets a chance at $10,000 in cash and prizes. The way you get to the hub is to answer a question correctly, which will give you a pie wedge and move you a space closer to that goal. By the way, under 3 of these spaces on the board, there has been placed at random a valuable prize. Anyone who lands on a prize space wins that prize.
Now, we'll start everyone off with $250. With that money, you will buy questions for your clockwise opponent. It will cost you $100 to have us ask your opponent a hard question, $50 to have us ask a medium question, and nothing at all to have us ask an easy question. Now, audience...
So again, there's a finite resource involved. It's weird that it's money because you don't actually get to keep the money, but it's similar to what we saw with the bounces and the seconds in Fast Friends.
This is just between you and me and Linda. Okay, during every question, you will see in the lower left-hand corner of your screen something we call the hint box. And in it, we will show the first 2 letters to every hard and medium answer. If the answer is a person, it will be a hint to their last name. They'll only be up there for a few seconds, so if you don't want the hint, just look away for a bit. Okay, let's begin Trivial Pursuit. For our first trip around the board, our category will be art and literature. Now, Joanne, your clockwise opponent is Randy. Would you like to buy a hard, medium, or easy question for Randy?
Randy doesn't look like he knows anything about art and literature, so I'll try an easy question.
Joanne, we didn't ask you for abuse. We just if you want a hard, medium, or easy question. Randy, she doesn't think you can do this one. You want to change categories or show her up by staying in art and literature?
No, I'm going to accept the challenge. I'll stay right where we are.
Okay, Randy. It has been said that art is anything you can get away with. Who got away with the Campbell soup cans?
Oh, what's the guy with the funny hair?
I'm not answering, by the way, because I've already seen
funny
this.
hair is Andy Warhol, Randy. Yes. You could picture him, but couldn't come up with his name. And Joanne, it worked out pretty well. You didn't spend any money on the question, an easy question, and Randy couldn't come up with it. Okay, Randy, now it's time for you to come up with a question for Melissa. Is it going to be a hard, medium, or easy question in art and literature?
I'm going to spend $50 and make it a medium question.
And now, Melissa, you can change categories if you'd like. It'll cost you $50, or stay in art and literature.
I'm going to stay in art and literature.
You're going to stay there. Okay. Horton Hears a Who was written by Theodore Geisel,
Andy Warhol,
who is also known as who?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss is right.
The last name, Seuss.
Pie wedge of the game. We give you that pie wedge, and we move you a space toward the hub. And remember, at any time, and under any one of those spaces, there could be a prize. Okay, Melissa, now it's time for you to come up with a question for Yvonne.
I'm going to give Yvonne an easy question.
An easy question. Well, the last easy question wasn't so easy, Yvonne. Do you want to stay in art and literature?
I'll try it, yes.
Okay, here we go. Rodin's sculpture of a man sitting with his hand on his chin could have been called, "I'll be out in a second, Ma." Our writers having themselves a fine time with this question. But what was it actually called?
The Thinker.
The Thinker is right. Yvonne, get yourself a pie wedge. And now, Yvonne, we'll move you a space toward the hub, and we'll ask you for a hard, medium, or easy question for Joanne.
Let's go with a hard question.
A hard question for Joanne. In art and literature, that costs you $100, of course, Yvonne.
I'd like to change the category to entertainment.
Okay, that trip will cost you $50. We go to entertainment for a hard question. What famous singer-actress said, "I was the first woman to burn my bra. It took the fire department 4 days to put it out"?
Oh, Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton is right. Well, we knew it wasn't Twiggy. And Joanne gets herself a pie wedge. And we move you a space toward the hub. And that completes our first trip around the board.
When we come back, something new will be added. We'll see what it is right after this.
Well, something new has been added. First my mind went to Rodin. Dolly mentioned.
Thank you, and welcome back to Trivial Pursuit. Here we are to start our second trip around the board, with the only difference being that if any of you answer a question incorrectly, the person who bought it for you in the first place will get a kickback, meaning a chance to answer it, with the added advantage of getting a peek at the hint box. You'll also notice that we are now changing to the second category, which is sports and leisure. Okay, we're going to start our second round with Joanne.
I'll buy him a hard question.
A hard question. And Randy, we are in sports and leisure. Do we stay there?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, maybe it'll be a golf question. Let's find out. What crunchy snack was invented by a man fittingly named George Crumb?
Not a sports question.
Cracker Jack?
No. And we are in a kickback situation. What we do now for you, Joanne, is turn the hint box. We'll give you a look at the first 2 letters of the correct answer. What crunchy snack was invented by a man fittingly named George?
So they're probably just like looking at an off-screen monitor, but they make it look like they're actually looking down at the hint box that's turned around.
George Crumb.
Popcorn?
No, it was potato chips. Potato chips. Obviously, they're a leisure question rather than a sports question. Sports and leisure.
That's always what I'm praying for
when
Randy? Sports and leisure comes
I'm
up.
going to pick a hard one for Melissa.
A hard question will cost you $100, of course, Randy. And Melissa, we are in sports and leisure. You're going to deal with a hard question there?
No.
Okay, where are we going?
Arts and literature.
Arts and literature. Okay, an art and literature question and a hard one for you. Here we go. Melissa, if at the racetrack you wanted to bet on the winged horse of Greek mythology, who would you put your money on?
Pegasus.
Pegasus is right. The mythical horse, Pegasus. And Melissa gets herself another wedge of pie. And we move you another space toward the hub. And remember, at any time, there could be a prize under any one of those spaces. Okay, Melissa, now time for you to pick a question for Yvonne.
A hard question for
A hard question. And we are in art and literature. Yvonne, are we going to stay there?
No, I think I'd like to change the category. Let's
Okay.
go to
Where are we going?
History.
To history. That trip, of course, costs you $50, and we're going to have a hard history question for you now. Yvonne, when the headline read, Dewey wins, he didn't. Who did?
Hoover?
No, not Hoover. It's
Also, the
kickback time,
the headline
which means
wasn't
that
Dewey
Melissa
wins.
Gets a look at the hint box. We'll turn that for you now, Melissa, and ask you, when the headline read, Dewey wins,
Yeah, Truman,
he didn't.
exactly.
Who did win?
Truman.
It was Harry S. Truman. That's
Yeah, the
right.
headline was Dewey defeats Truman.
You are correct. You win yourself another pie wedge, and you move another space toward the hub. Yvonne, pick yourself a hard, medium, or easy question for Joanne.
Right, thank you.
History,
Thank you,
let's give her a medium question.
Medium question, that'll cost you $50. And Joanne, it's going to be a medium history question, or is it?
I'd like to go to geography.
Okay, we'll go to geography. That trip costing you $50.
Couldn't be me.
Carol Channing, eat your heart out. But one New York lady has a mouth 3 feet wide. Who is she?
Ethel Merman?
I can't say anything. We're in a kickback situation.
That's right.
But you know what I want to say. Okay, we go back to Yvonne. It was not Ethel Merman. That was an incorrect answer. So we are in a kickback situation. We're going to turn the hint box now for you, Yvonne. Take a look at it. You'll see the first couple letters. And tell me
Statue
who
of
the
Liberty.
New York lady is who has a mouth 3 feet wide.
Oh, the Statue of Liberty.
It is
The Statute of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty. On the other hand, the Statue of Liberty can't sing, so they're about even, I suppose. Yvonne gets herself a second wedge, and we move another space toward the hub. And you've won a prize. It's a trip
Oh, wow.
to Hawaii.
Pretty big main game prize.
Congratulations, Yvonne. You'll spend a regal week for 2 at the Sheraton World Waikoloa Hotel. Enjoy the warm seas and tropical breeze, compliments of Trivial Pursuit, a prize worth $2,000.
Congratulations, Yvonne. So that time, not only did the kickback get you the wedge, it got you the trip to Hawaii. That trip is yours to keep no matter what happens the rest of the way on the game. And let's go to our final trip around the board with the third category for our third trip. We go to entertainment. And Joanne, you can either pick a medium or easy question for Randy because you only have $50 left.
Medium question.
I think I better change. I'm going to go down to science and nature.
Okay, you'll take us down to science and nature now. He was a Cocker Spaniel, and she was a poodle. And last night, they got a little silly. What kind of puppies will they have?
A cockapoo?
Cockapoo is right.
See, I didn't know those crossbreeds existed in the
He was
80s.
going to say game show host. Okay, Randy, you get yourself a pie wedge, and you move a space toward the hub. And now it's time for you to pick out a question for Melissa.
I'm going to spend it all. It's a medium question for Melissa.
A medium question in science and nature. Melissa, do we stay there?
I think I'm going to spend a little money and go back up where we're supposed to be. Entertainment.
In entertainment, a medium question for Melissa. When Frank Sinatra married
Get me to
this
God's
actress,
category.
Dean Martin said he had scotch that was older than she was. Name the actress.
Oh, a few of them did in the 80s.
Mia Farrow?
It was Mia Farrow. And he did have scotch that was older
She
than
clearly
she
said
was.
Mia Farrow, but we're just going to
Melissa
move
gets
past
a
that.
wedge. And we move you a space toward the hub.
Cockerdoodle.
And now it's time for Melissa to come up with a question for Yvonne. A medium or an easy question with your last $50.
A medium question.
Might as well spend it. Okay, a medium question. And Yvonne, do we change categories?
No, I'll stick with entertainment.
Okay, you're going to save that $50 for Joanne, I assume. Okay. On the Addams Family, what was the name of the hand in the black box?
The hand.
That would be logical, but it is incorrect, and it is a kickback situation. It's time now for Melissa to take a look at our hint box. We're going to turn it for you, and we're going to ask you, on the Addams Family, what was the name of the hand in the black box?
I don't know.
The TH, you were saying something. It was thing. Okay, no one got that
Also,
one.
trivia, it was usually the guy who played Lurch, whose name I'm blanking on right now, it was usually his hand, unless Lurch was in the scene as well.
And now it's time for Yvonne to come up
Ted
with a
Cassidy.
question for Joanne.
Joanne, I'm going to spend my last 50 on a medium question.
A medium question. And Joanne, you can't change the category because you're out of money. So it's a medium entertainment question for you. Joanne, it wasn't too long ago that she was the idol of thousands of wannabes. Now, who did the wannabes wanna be?
That's a weird
Wanna
question.
be Madonna.
They wanted to be Madonna. No one knows why, but you're right. Yes. And Joanne, you've gotten yourself
Yeah,
a second
thank you,
pie wedge.
Flowerella.
And we move you another space toward the hub. And you've won a prize. It's an oven.
Yeah, you win a trip to Hawaii or an oven.
Through your dinner time chores with this Whirlpool
A microwave oven.
with electronic touch control. It's a prize.
She'll
for
lose his
Trivial
steam when
Pursuit
no one
worth
has money.
$850.
Well, that was the last round where the money mattered.
So someday when they do your life story, Madonna and the microwave might be one of the scenes. You've just gotten yourself a microwave oven, and we're looking pretty good now as we've completed our third trip around the board.
As you can see, our players are homing in on the hub. And when we come back, temptation will rear its tantalizing head in our spin-to-win round coming up next.
So what are you saying?
I just want to point out that you haven't let me ask one question yet. Not one. This isn't 1955. I'm an 80s woman.
We have an arc, ladies
This
and
is a
gentlemen.
television show, and we're trying to... Hi, we're back. Welcome back. It's time for our Spin to Win round. New rules, everybody, so listen carefully. Everyone has a buzzer on their podium. I'm going to read a question, and Linda is going to read a question. Okay,
Finally.
Anybody who buzzes in with the right answer can elect to either move up one space, as before, and win
Well,
any prize that...
Honestly, it's just those two little bits. It's not on the same level as like Burt Ludden's Love Buffet, where they tried to have like a whole narrative show.
may be located there, or you can spin your pie. Now, if at the end of a spin, the pointer lands on a player's lit wedge, he or she skips over all the spaces and goes straight into the hub, winning the game. However, there is one little catch. During the commercial, we have totally at random placed a car in a space in front of one of you.
Oh,
now,
damn.
I don't know where that car is, and more importantly, neither do any of you. But anyone who lands there wins it. And if you spin, of course, you may be skipping over spaces where the car could be. So bear that in mind when you're making those decisions. Okay, everybody, hands on buzzers. Here we go.
Our first subject is art and literature. Who was the magician at King Arthur's court? Yvonne.
Merlin.
That's right.
Merlin is right. And Yvonne gets herself a wedge. And do we spin the pie and maybe go into the hub, or do you want to see if maybe that car is there? There's another prize that could be there, too.
Oh, God, a car would be great. Let's
You gonna
go
take a
on
look
for another
the car?
space, yeah.
Okay, we'll go up one more space, and it's not there. Okay, now on to our next question.
And it's in the subject of entertainment. What's the name of Gladys Knight's group? Melissa.
Gladys Knight and Gladys Knight.
It's not Gladys Knight.
No, it's the Pips. The Pips couldn't come up with it. Okay. Now, you were wrong, so you'll be sitting out the next question. Okay, back to our questions.
And the next subject is history. What country had revolutionaries called Bolsheviks? Joanne, Russia. That's right.
Russia is right. The Russian Revolution. And Joanne, you get another pie wedge. This we know. What we don't know is, are you going to take a look and see if that car is there or another prize, or spin your wheel?
When you have three wedges, you're radioactive.
I want to go another space.
Gladys Knight and Gladys Knight.
Take a look and see if that next space has anything there.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Joanne. It's a new car. You'll learn why Pontiac says we build excitement with this 1987 Pontiac Sunbird. So drive yourself happy with this prize from Trivial Pursuit worth $10,798.
Congratulations, Joanne. You won the car. And remember, that car, again, is yours to keep. You can take the oven, put it in the car, and drive them both home. They're yours to keep no matter what happens for the rest of the game. Okay, now that we've found out where the car is, I think we're going to be seeing some serious spinning. Okay, back to our questions.
The next subject is geography. In what country is Stonehenge? Yvonne. England. That's right.
England is right. And you win yourself another wedge of pie. And now the decision comes as we give you that wedge, and are you going to spin, or are you going to move another space toward the hub?
I'm going to spin.
There is still another prize out there.
All righty, now give it a good spin, Yvonne. And yes, it landed. Just barely.
Weirdly anticlimactic.
Congratulations, Yvonne.
Oh, Florella says, I had a Sunfire, which I think was the successor to the Sunbird.
You've got yourself a chance at $10,000 in cash and prizes. We'll see how well you do when we play Hot Pursuit right after this.
There's a little bit of pie in the sky in that, with the, lighting up sections of a wheel and spinning it to see if you win.
Here we are back to play the Hot Pursuit part of our game. But before we do, Yvonne, we would like to award you $1,000 for winning the game.
Oh, but the other thing is, with this bonus round, the more wedges you have, the better chance you have. So you might want to wait to spin even then.
Now, all during the show, we've been talking about those thousands of dollars in cash and prizes contained in the hub. First, let me tell you about the prizes. There are always three, and today they are a video camera. You'll capture the great moments of your life with a VHS video camera from Quasar. A motorcycle. You'll be able to go just about anywhere on your new on-road, off-road motorcycle from Honda. And finally, a cruise to Greece. Even Alexander didn't have it this great aboard Carnival Cruise Line. And we'll add $5,000 in cash to all that to make a total of $10,000 in cash and prizes. Okay, Steve, tell Yvonne how she can take all that home.
All right, now, Yvonne, you defeated Joanne, Randy, and Melissa to get into the hub, but you're not through with them yet, because they now become the pursuers. And to win that $10,000, you've got to take each of them on one at a time and defeat them all. Here's how. First, Yvonne, it's going to be you and Joanne. I'm going to ask a question. If you buzz in and give a correct answer, your opponent loses a wedge. If you buzz in and give an incorrect answer, you lose a wedge. Now, Yvonne, should you cause Joanne to lose all of her wedges, you'll then try and do the same thing with Randy.
So this part is very much like Hitman, which is another Jay Wolpert show that did make it to air.
And should you succeed, finally, you'll go against Melissa. And if at the end of all that you wind up with any wedges at all, you will walk away with that hub of cash and prizes.
But if somewhere along the way you lose all your wedges, then you do not win the $10,000. But instead, each one of our pursuers gets to go home with one of the prizes in the hub.
Now, Yvonne, one more thing before we begin. You can see how important it is to have as many wedges as possible. Well, I've got an offer for you. I'll give you one more wedge on your pie. You've got 4, that would give you 5. But that extra wedge will cost you $500 of the $1,000 that you won for winning the game.
I'm going to probably need all the help I can get. I'm going to buy a wedge.
Okay, she's going to buy a wedge. You now have 5 wedges in your pie. And you will start
You've
by
got a
going
complete
against
Pac-Man.
Joanne, who has 3 wedges. Okay, we're ready to begin. Hands on your buzzers. Here we go. Art and literature. Who wrote The Old Man and the Sea? Yvonne.
Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway, that's right. And Joanne loses a wedge. Sports and leisure. In what sport would you see a matador? Yvonne.
Bullfighting.
Bullfighting is right. Joanne already down to her last wedge. And we go to entertainment. What's the last name of the title character in Amadeus? Joanne.
Mozart.
Mozart is right. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And Yvonne loses a wedge. Geography. What is the monetary unit of Mexico? Yvonne.
Pesos.
The peso. That eliminates Joanne. We go now to Randy with 1 wedge. Science and nature. What is a bear's big sleep called? Randy.
Hibernation.
Hibernation is right. Yvonne loses a wedge. Art and literature. Which book featured a character named Kunta Kinte? Randy.
Roots.
Roots is right. We go to sports and leisure. What is a Louisville slugger? Yvonne.
A bat.
A baseball bat is right, and Yvonne is right.
Man, Randy did some damage, though.
Here's your final opponent, Melissa, with 4 wedges. To entertainment. Who is Shirley MacLaine's brother? Yvonne.
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty is right. And Melissa loses a wedge. Geography. In which country will you find the Outback? Yvonne.
Australia.
Australia is right. Melissa down to 2 wedges. We go to science and nature. Which sign of the zodiac is represented by a fish? Yvonne.
Pisces.
Pisces is right. Melissa is down to her last wedge. Yvonne, get this one right, and you get that hub. Art and literature. Who was the founder of Playboy magazine? Yvonne.
That's really exciting.
Come on over here, Yvonne. You defeated them all. Congratulations to Yvonne. Congratulations.
Oh, they moved her podium and made it yellow. It's not science and barely nature. I wasn't even paying attention to the categories.
In cash and prizes, plus the $500. And you get that hub. Art and literature. Who was the founder?
Oh, that's
of
art and
Playboy?
literature.
Yvonne.
Australia.
Who is Shirley MacLaine's brother? Yvonne.
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty is right. And Melissa loses a wedge. Geography. In which country will you find the Outback? Yvonne.
Australia.
Hey, that's right.
I don't know which was science and nature, though.
In Amadeus. A Louisville slugger. Art and literature. Which book featured a character named Kunta
art and
Kinte?
literature. That.
Randy. Roots is right. We go to sports and leisure. What is
Oh, the
a
zodiac.
Louisville slugger?
Okay.
Our last wedge. $10,000.
It's the science of astrology.
Of course, we're used to hearing you have whose names screamed out that way, but this is for a special reason. You defeated them all. You're going to walk away with $10,000 in cash and prizes, plus the $500 you won for getting into the hub, and you'll get to come back tomorrow, too. Can your heart take it?
No.
Okay. Rest up and come back. Contestants, thanks for being with us today.
So I wonder what happens if one of the top people wins. Do they have to move that podium?
We'll be looking for you tomorrow. Linda and I hope we'll see you again. You know how it works at Trivial Pursuit. We'll supply the questions and board.
And you bring the chips and dips.
See you tomorrow.
So we are going to watch the full credits because there's the thing at the end. Also, there's a weird credit in here that I noticed. Set designer Ed Flesh did a ton of game shows. Game Show Ninja. No idea what that could possibly be. I guess he just snuck in there and got his credit in.
This has been a J. Wolpert production in association with Trivial Pursuit Television and Taft Entertainment Television.
So Taft Entertainment Television is the, he was the gopher. Yeah, I guess so. Taft Entertainment Television was the parent company of Hanna-Barbera, so maybe that's how he ended up doing that game show for them.
Hi, Hi, I'm Jay Wolpert, and I developed Trivial Pursuit for television.
So this is the guy whose shows we've been watching all night. And by the way, I'm pretty sure up here is a picture of him on Art Fleming Jeopardy, but we don't get a good look at it.
I'd like to take a few moments to give you a few of the reasons why I think you should buy this show. To begin with, it is probably the most pre-sold game show in the history of television, based as it is on the #1 game in the nation. This year, 7 years after it entered the marketplace, Trivial Pursuit is still selling 2 million units a year. This, in a business, the board game business, where 250,000 units is a massive hit.
I don't remember what the exact price was also, but Trivial Pursuit, when it came out, was ridiculously expensive. I think it was like $40 or $50.
The Trivial Pursuit logo is the most recognizable game logo in the world. The second reason why you should buy Trivial Pursuit is because it is indeed Trivial Pursuit. We didn't just buy a title and then graft some game onto it. Instead, what we did was kept many of the elements and many of the icons of Trivial Pursuit, the board game. For example, we kept the wheel-shaped board. We kept the hub. We kept the pies, the wedges, the categories, the clockwise progress around the board. And in a way, we even kept the idea that one player reads questions for another. We didn't actually do that because contestants aren't skilled that way, but what we did do is allow them to buy questions for each other, which established the same kind of relationship.
I like that the idea that we don't have the contestants read the questions because they're like uncharismatic, not because it's like a massive standards and practices issue for each contestant to have a stack of questions.
The reason I tell you all this is because you will never have a situation in which a Trivial Pursuit lover will come to you and say, "This isn't the show I know and love." It very definitely is.
You did use the wrong number of spokes on the game board, though, so I'm going to have to send you multiple death threats.
But your audience won't just consist of Trivial Pursuit lovers. Instead, because of the hint box, a really significant innovation in the quiz show, you will get a whole bunch of viewers who are game show watchers, but not quiz show watchers. By this I mean that there's a whole world out there. Game show lovers who watch Price is Right, or Dating Game, or Newlywed Game, who wouldn't touch, for example, Jeopardy, as big a hit as that is, because they are intimidated by quiz shows. Well, not here. Because by virtue of the hint box, we allow the viewer at home to get a leg up on the contestant. When she sees in that hint box the TR and she yells at home,
and it is a she,
before the contestant does, she feels great because she got there before the contestant did, forgetting entirely that she's seen a hint. And anytime you can make a viewer feel great, you're ahead of the game. We also have the most exciting end game on television today.
Hard to argue with that.
What we call Hot Pursuit is like High Noon. Yvonne was Gary Cooper at the end of the show. And she was waiting for those three guys to step off the train and have a shootout. And that's what that game was. And I think you'll agree with me. It's pretty exciting. I'd like to say a word about the talent we used on the show as well. Obviously, we did not go for the usual game show look in an MC. This didn't happen by accident. It wasn't because we couldn't find standard game show MCs. But we thought we had a very, very rare opportunity. We knew we would attract older people because they say that game shows skew towards an older crowd. So we knew we'd do that. But in Trivial Pursuit, with that title and that property, we also knew that that is probably the hottest upwardly mobile yuppie title next to BMW in the world. And so we thought, wait a second. Those two franchises with this property can be brought together, the young and the old. And we decided to go for an MC, therefore, who would be young enough and funny enough to attract young people, while at the same time not acidic and cynical enough to alienate or in any way threaten older people.
I think it was kind of boring compared to Jay's other games.
Had a cuddly
Well,
guy,
yeah, I
Steve
mean,
Morris.
it's it's trying to fit the mold of an existing game, and Trivial Pursuit's kind of boring, but I think he spiced it up in some interesting
And
ways.
I must tell you that the response to him has been overwhelming. In Linda Ma, we got a girl next door. We didn't find out Vanna. We wanted somebody who every guy wants to marry, who every mother wants their son to bring home.
Okay, it's getting creepy.
A relationship between them, a la Moonlighting, or Heart to Heart, or Steed and Mrs. Peel in The Avengers. Just a little subtext that kind of makes you wonder, the way they banter back and forth. Hey, do they see each other
Tell
after
me about the
show?
ninja.
What goes on here? Doesn't hurt, and it may very well help.
Bob Barker and his models had a will they, won't they as well, and it went to court.
There's only one more thing I want to say, and that's this. There's pros and cons in both ends of our business, mine and yours. And the tough part for you comes in these
Nuggetron, we wanted to employ to all 4 quadrants, young, old, unemployed, and woman.
2 weeks. You've got to make a lot of decisions, you've got to take a lot of risks, and you've got to put it out there. I don't envy you. Because the truth of the matter is, no one knows what's a hit. I haven't told you during this whole speech that Trivial Pursuit is going to be a hit. I don't know. But I do know this. It's very, very good. And that all either of us can do, me when I make a show and you when you buy one, is to hope that we stack the odds in our favor. And I can't believe that you're ever going to have to defend why you bought the number one
Why is the pitch getting
in this
desperate?
country, what has in fact become a national institution. I hope you buy Trivial Pursuit for both our sakes. But whether you do or not, I want to thank you for giving me this time. And one way or another, like the song says, I'll see you in September.
All right, so that's the end of that's the end of the show. Actually, that's our last show. Thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. This was a especially fun group of shows to watch. Next week is Easter weekend, so I kind of threw together an Easter stream. So we're going to start with the new treasure hunt, which specifically there's an episode with an Easter egg hunt skit. I haven't watched it yet. I probably watched it years ago, but it says there's an Easter egg hunt in the title. We're going to go to then we go to Supermarket Sweep and fill the cart up with hams. Then we go across the pond for a very weird show called Don't Scare the Hare, where it's a bunch of stunts where you have to avoid scaring an animatronic rabbit, and then we'll finish it off with what the holiday is supposed to be all about, the American Bible Challenge. I found a video that has the grand finals from season 2, and I believe there's a team of nuns, so that'll be fun. It seems like they'd be impossible to beat. So let's do a raid. Thank you again to Hilaire Satan for the raid earlier. Who is streaming? Your old dad. Hilaire Satan's still streaming. Well, let's return the favor. Oh no, it says channel is offline. Maybe I need to refresh. Oh no, it's just okay. So your old dad, or yeah, let's go to Pintastic in that's going on in New England. So, Backhand Pinball is streaming a tournament there. So until next week, take care of yourselves and each other, and have fun watching some pinball.